I need to. What is going on with my camera? Which way does this need to go?
So after you fix your camera how you like it, I mean, you look fine on your stream.
It wasn't centered. My
Oh,
was
I
getting
see.
cut off all weird.
I see.
I was like, what the heck? And I had it fine earlier. I don't know what I did.
Right.
But yeah, I'll have to look up what I did for the virtual camera, because I know that we had some issues, and I don't know how we ended up figuring it out.
How we fixed it.
For Discord, but yeah, it's supposed, like, I swear we ended up just like, I hit start virtual camera, picked it, and then it just grabbed my camera automatically from the thing.
Weird.
But I don't know if it is any different because of hold on, I gotta take my earbud out because I'm hearing things twice. It's confusing me. Like I clicked it and then it just pushed over, or I don't remember if I had to download anything or not.
Weird.
Like for Discord, but
weird.
Oh, this works.
Well, let's pretend like we haven't been working on troubleshooting for the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ta-da!
Whoa.
Hi guys! It's
We'll make it work.
Monday! Whee! Alrighty, cool. So for those of you who were not aware, Dupree and I are going to be doing a little chatty co-stream the last Monday of the month, starting today. And we'll figure out camera stuff in the future. For some reason, it's being super extra dumb. So you just get to look at me and listen to Dupree. Unless you go over to his channel, you can look at him and listen to me. You know, whatever, however you want to do that. But we decided that the first kind of like intro session would be a good one. Would be like what our favorite 5 like anime and video games that we watched / played last year would be. It does not have to have come out last year. Just that's the stipulation. We just have to have watched it last year. So as soon as we start talking, you're like, that didn't come out last year. Don't worry about that, because that is not what this is about. It's just about what we played and watched. Because I think out of everything I played, I think only one of maybe two of my games came out last year. Well, 3 if you count that, but I technically have 6 games on my list, but that's because one of them's just a DLC.
I have no idea what I can't even think of games that I actively played last year.
I had to go look at my list of games that I keep track of on stream. I was like, okay, what did I play last year?
I should do that. Man, I guess I could go through like Twitter posts, but because like as far as like between like 2020 and 2021, like what I played or didn't play, like oh man, like those would be such a combination. Because was it last year that Final Fantasy VII came out, or was
no, it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah, see, and I feel like that was last year.
Isn't that wild though? Like here in like 2 months, FF7 Remake will have been out 2 years.
Right. So much for them saying, "Oh, you won't have to wait as long for the second release."
Hey,
okay.
we still have 3 years for it to be the same amount of time. So technically, it's still shorter.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully. I mean, if it takes them as long as it took them the first time, then yeah, it should be about probably sometime next year, because they did like a year and a half of work and then scrapped everything and brought it in-house and restarted. So
right,
that's why it took 5 years. It was going to be only like 3 years, but they wasted a year and a half.
But
I can't imagine all the money they spent on that.
Right, and the man hours. Could you imagine being one of those people working on it and they're like, so we're gonna start over
without you.
Oh man,
that would suck. I want to know what the original looked like. Like, what didn't you like about it?
Right. All right, but that's a conversation for a totally different day because we know that Dupree and I are gonna do a Final Fantasy VII remake session, and it's gonna be long.
Right, we'll have to do that like.
We'll have to plan that like on a weekend or something.
Yeah, on a weekend, and when it's coming up close to like maybe like when we get the release date for 2 or something, and we can like replay the game. And
it'll be cool.
I can finish the DLC, and then we can go through all of it.
Wait, you still haven't finished it?
No.
What the heck?
I'm working on it. I'm working on that. Like I'm working on Fenya, Star Ocean, XCOM. You know, The Witcher, everything. My life is so chaotic right now. all I know as of lately is I think about playing a game, but in reality, I sleep, eat, and work out.
Sleep, eat, work out. It's fine. That's fine.
Fine.
All right,
and
cool.
watch YouTube.
And watch YouTube about working out.
Yeah, basically.
All right, cool. Well, I will start with these. My games for last year are in no particular order. I just wrote them down. I'm pretty sure, I think this is accurate. I'm pretty sure I played Ghost of Tsushima for the first time last January. So it's technically, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was last year. So I'm going to say Ghost of Tsushima was one of my favorite games that I played last year. No, it did not come out last year, but it was really close. It was like summer. It was like summer of 2020 that it came out, so I didn't wait too long to play it. But yeah, I thought that game was incredible. It was absolutely gorgeous and pushing the limits of the PlayStation 4, like visually. I thought the story was fantastic. I really liked the open worldness of it, despite the fact, I mean, it was just an island, but it was still really open worldy about that. I thought that
game was huge.
Yeah, it was really big, and I still need to play the DLC for it now that I have a PlayStation 5. I just haven't got around to it yet, because it's like, I don't know, it's like a $20 DLC, isn't it? But
it was like $20-$30, yeah. It wasn't very much. I haven't played it yet either, but I have it.
Mm-hmm. But I am really excited to get around to play it when I do. Yeah, super great game. I would give it a solid at least 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like, I liked most of that game. I think the only things I didn't like were sad things that happened in the story.
Yeah, sad things. There were some sad stuff that happened. Aside from that, though, like you said, I can't really think of any complaints with that game. That game I was in love with that game. I played it non-stop for days. And
I didn't mind having to ride around on my horse anytime because the views were so pretty and the music was so good. I was like, this is just really nice to ride across the countryside.
You can only run into people, jump off your horse and kill them.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool that they did the different filters for so you had, the colored version, and then they have the Kurosawa version, which is obviously ode to Akira Kurosawa's old samurai films, which I thought was really, really cool. I still need to finish playing in Kurosawa mode, just because the hard black and white is a little difficult in the dark areas, because it's so dark.
I haven't tried it on that mode yet, but I did see it, but I don't know anything about the black and white films or any of that stuff,
So what he's most well known for would have been Seven Samurai. But yeah, it's a really classic samurai film. Lots of different films have been made based on Seven Samurai, like The Magnificent Seven. That Western is based on Seven Samurai. There's an anime called Samurai 7, which is based on Seven Samurai, which was really good. Came out in the mid-2000s. Highly recommend it.
What's it on?
I think it's on Funimation. I own it, so I don't know. But Funimation, I think Funimation is the one that put it out. So
I'll have to look it up.
I'll have to check. But yeah, it's called Samurai 7. I will warn you that it is kind of sad towards the end, but it's really good.
It's okay. I don't mind the sad.
So that's my first game of last year that I really liked. What's yours?
Last year. I mean, I don't.
You have to have played it for the first time last year. It doesn't have to have come out last year. You just have to have played it for the first time last year.
I don't think Ghost. I think Ghost I played in 2020 because I got my PS5 Thanksgiving, like right when it came out, and I think that was the end of 2020. So it couldn't have been that because I would have finished that before last year. Last year, let's see, there was Baldur's Gate, there's Chrono Trigger.
Baldur's Gate was 2020 though.
Was it 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was last year. Dang.
No, it's already been that long since like we did a playthrough together.
There was. I think I played Subnautica in 2021.
Yes, you did play Subnautica in 2021.
Yeah. So Subnautica was a really good one. I like that a lot. And I had never played that or heard of it. What's another? No, that would have been. Was The Last of Us 2 in 2020?
Yep. No,
okay.
2020.
2020?
Not. Yeah. No.
Did I play it in 2021? Because I didn't play that right when it came out.
Oh. I don't know. Did you?
I'm gonna look it up right now. Last of Us Part 2, when did it come? It came out in June. There might be a chance that I played that in 2021. I can't guarantee that though. What about Ori, no, Little Nightmares? I'm gonna go with Song of Iron. Song of Iron or Subnautica Below Zero. Because I don't know if the first one. I don't know if I played the first one in 2021. That might have been still far enough back to 2020.
2020 and 2021 are basically like the same year. Let's be honest.
Year, right? It's like one
massively long year.
But Song of Iron was really good. I love that. It was a short game, but it was really well done.
Oh yeah, that's the one you recommended to me. I need to play that.
Yeah, it's the side scroller with the axe, the Viking stuff. The story to it being just a guy from a village who is in the middle of a war, who has no real like deep hero story. He's just somebody trying to go through and save his village, and then just like with all the background and foreground things going on that show that you're just a small part of a bigger world. It was really cool, and the mechanics were really well done. The like when you jump, your character feels heavy and he looks heavy. It just, and the pace of the combat with he doesn't go like overly quick. It flows really well, so I really like that. And then Below Zero was Subnautica Below Zero was a great sequel, very different from the first one, and I was really glad that they didn't like repeat the environment. Like, I mean, I know it's all water and stuff, but they added a lot of land into it from the water, so it was like a 50-50 instead. Like the first one was just purely 100% in the ocean,
100% terror.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
But they were really good though.
Cool.
I like those a lot.
Yeah, some more for me that I played last year. I really, really loved Alien Isolation, and I was really surprised when I saw how old that game really was, and the fact that it has held up so well. Because, like, Alien Isolation came out... When did it originally come out? Originally came out in 2014. So it's like, by the time I was playing it, it was a 7-year-old game. But like, it didn't feel like a 7-year-old game to me when I was playing it. And like, it was really, I mean, obviously, if you enjoy the Alien franchise, it's really fun in that aspect. But like, even just as a survival horror, it was like so good. And
the Alien Isolation, I remember watching you play that. This is definitely a very creepy game, especially like it gets so intense when you're trying to hide.
It
And you're
does.
hoping that the alien doesn't rip the door
But
open.
once you figure it out, I mean, and it's crazy because it's like the game is like, you know, don't hide for too long, because if you do, it's going to eventually find you. So you couldn't, like, you could hide obviously, but you couldn't hide for too long. You had to like find the perfect amount of time and like basically kind of always be on the move and just take really small pauses to hide. Once I figured out that mechanic, it made it a lot more exciting than it already was. But even like story-wise, it was just a really cool game. I really, really enjoyed it. And then I'm gonna count both Little Nightmares games because I didn't play either of them until last year.
I still need to play the second one.
Oh my gosh, the second one was so good.
I was gonna say I played the first one last year, and I loved the first one. It was a short, little, cute, like semi-horror game. It was amazing. I absolutely loved that.
Yeah, and the second one is a little longer, but still short enough that you can play it in 1 to 2 sit-downs, depending on how long you have to play.
Yeah, I haven't.
Because it's 5 chapters.
I haven't. I don't even have it yet. I still need to buy it, but I want to get it. I want to play it. It's kind of one of those things like once I have time to. Then
I
wanna
snagged
get
it
into
because it
and
was
play
on sale, and I had to have it.
Another one I played last year that was really good was Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night.
Oh yeah.
I never played that. That one was really good. I liked that one a lot. It had a couple glitches here and there. I got stuck in walls on occasion.
Oh no.
But, it was really good. What was another one? I played Near Replicant. I haven't beat it yet, but that was another one.
I want that one so bad.
I'm on my first playthrough, and I have Near Automata that I need to play, so that'll probably be sometime this year.
I haven't let myself buy Replicant yet because I know I'll shove everything else aside and just play Replicant.
I won't do anything. Just that.
So, I'm not allowed to play it till I get some more games out of the way. But, game that actually did come out last year that I loved way more than I intended was Resident Evil Village. I loved the crap out of that game, and I expected, I don't know what I didn't have a lot of expectations. My only expectation for that game was that I was not going to be good at it because it was first person, but I ended up not being too bad at it, and I enjoyed it enough that I played, you know, every difficulty. So obviously it must have been decent.
That one looked really difficult, especially like when you got to the hardest difficulty.
Oh my gosh. The hardest difficulty was kind of bonkers, and I probably I know, Azure and Jackie, it's like you guys watch the same things. And I will talk about that when we get to the anime section. But yeah, I don't know. It was really fun. I was really impressed at how attached I got to Ethan, even though I was not going into that game expecting to get attached and like cry at the end of Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil has never made me cry except for like one other time, and that was during 2 Remake when you encounter the dad and like you see his little girl who's turning into a zombie, and I'm like, that's so sad. But like other than that, yeah, Resident Evil doesn't make me cry. It just makes me want to kill zombies. So the fact that I had an emotional reaction, I was like, well, that was better than I expected. But yeah, I loved Village. I loved it. Ooh, Jackie's got some favorite games that she played in 2021. Scarlet Nexus. I really want to play Scarlet Nexus. I need to get that.
I saw that one. I saw the previews and it looked pretty good. I ended up not getting it because I had such a big backlog, and I still do. And it kind of reminded me of Code Vein, where like I thought it was gonna be like hype when it first came out, but it would die off really quick. So I was like, I'll just wait like a year. It'll probably go like 50% by Christmas.
Man, Code Vein, I keep looking at when it goes on sale, and I'm like, I need to get this.
I loved Code Vein. I need to go back and do the DLC still.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad that one didn't catch on, because at the time I was huge into like Souls games still, and I wanted to play the crap out of that game, but I couldn't.
Sad. But yeah, Scarlet Nexus, truly liked Tales of Arise, Persona 5 Strikers, Monster Hunter Rise, and the Mass Effect Remaster Collection.
I've never played any of the Monster Hunter games. I always heard like originally that you needed like people to play with, and then I found out you could play alone, and like I just found that out like mid last year. I was like, no, it's too far into the series. I don't want to jump into all that.
So I was gifted Monster Hunter Rise, and I've only played a little bit of it. I keep meaning to play it like, I need to just put it in a stream slot, because then I'll actually like play it, because I don't play a ton of stuff off stream, you know. But yeah, the nice thing is even though it's a quote-unquote series of games, you do not need to have played any of the previous ones to like understand this one.
Okay.
Jackie, I'll join you if you play.
That's like
Hold up.
Wait.
But yeah, and then the other one I wanted to play in that set was Tales of Arise. That one looked really good.
Isn't that like a part of a series?
It is, but it's kind of like, it's like Star Ocean and Final Fantasy, where like it's a series, but you don't necessarily you don't have to play all of them to get them.
Okay. I love games like that. That's one thing I really like about the Final Fantasy, aside from the obvious ones that are continuations of the previous, but like each one is individual, each one has its own characters. It makes it even more like enticing to go into the series and genre. I kind of like that about XCOM. I just got XCOM 2 because like they've been going on forever, and I just recently found out about them, but it's actually a really cool game, and it's challenging, but you don't like, you can just kind of jump in and start going. And it kind of reminds me of like a alien shooter version of like a Darkest Dungeon type thing, and instead of dungeons you have city, like little like town places you go into, and you have to like beat out the aliens and either rescue somebody or get intel or whatever. But it's a lot of fun. I think you get to upgrade your ship and everything.
Yeah, it looks super interesting whenever I watch you play it. And I used to play like, I never played any of the XCOM games, but like I played some other games that were really similar in style, like way back in the day, like the Command and Conquer strategy games. I don't know if you ever played any of those, but
no, I haven't.
I played a couple of those when I was significantly younger. Kat is desperately trying to get loves right now. I'm trying to hold her, but she's like, "No, pet me." I'm like, "Just sit. Just there you go."
It drives me nuts sometimes when my dogs get in my lap in bed, and I'll pet them for like 5-10 minutes straight, and I'll stop, and they're over there nudging my hand with their nose. It's like, I'm not petting you for an hour. Stop it.
Right.
Just lay there and cuddle.
You're like, just stop.
Why are you like this?
Oh yeah, Jackie confirms that each game is standalone. You don't need to play any of them to enjoy the game, and that's for the Tales ones, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, that one looked super good. I had a lot of people tell me that it was really, really good.
I'll have to check those out then. Maybe
I think that one got nominated or won a few awards last year. I don't remember. So the last two games I wanted to talk about, I did two. So I did 6 instead of 5 because one of them was only a DLC, and that's obviously Final Fantasy VII Intermission. It was just really, really I don't know. It was really fun. Even though it's only a DLC, it was really fun. I really enjoyed the story. It was really cool to get a new story for Yuffie that we've never been able to experience before. And her mechanics were super fun. And it was just really fun to see how gorgeous that game could really finally be.
I know I technically haven't finished it, but what I have played of it so far, I do really like, and I like how they changed up the fighting mechanics a little bit, so it wasn't quite as plain. You had options to like throw and do some magic and with her weapons, and the story is really cool because I played the original and stuff, but I never really dug in too much into the backstory, so getting like what they view as a story has been really cool. It's kind of one of those it's one of those things I need to go through and finish it and get the rest of it, and I'm working on it. But I did like that one. Another one that I played, I'm pretty sure it was last year that I played it. I don't know, it may have been 2020. I want to say no, because that was when I first got. No, that was 2020. Never mind. 2020 is killing me. I
had a ton I could have talked about for 2020, but I guess I had some I could talk about for this year too.
Right, I feel like 2021, like, I don't know, like, I know I played games, I played like crazy.
I know I played things.
Did I just play like one game for like 3 months and then play another game for 3 months, and I played like 4 games all year? That was it? Like, where'd all my games go? I feel like 2021 was the year I played like I have like 7, 8, 9 games from 2020.
Right, it's pretty wild.
There are a lot of games coming out this year, though.
Yeah, there are some really cool things. D&D was really big for us in 2021, so that's where most of my time went. Yeah, same. If I wasn't playing video games, I was playing D&D. No, kitten, I'm done right now. I will go for it.
I think 2021 may have been the year that I replayed a lot of old games that I had really been wanting to replay, and didn't hit a lot of new games.
Yeah. My last thing that didn't come out in 2021. I mean, it did, but it didn't. Was Fatal Frame: Maiden of Blackwater. It's actually my least on this list, but only because I don't know. I thought it was super good. It was really, really fun to play. But there was so much going on in this one, story-wise, that I got a little bit lost sometimes. But I still really enjoyed it, because I do love the Fatal Frame series, and it was really, really fun to be able to finally play that particular installment. Now, there's only one installment that I haven't played, and that's because it's never, ever, ever been released here. And I don't have a Wii to mod, so... But, for games that are... Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know I finished it technically in 2022, but I started it in 2021. It was Chrono Trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Chrono Trigger was absolutely amazing. I love that one. The amount of story and content that's in that game, and the pace of it, and how well, like, I didn't have to grind out levels. I could just casually play through, and I was always at the level that I needed to be able to beat whatever boss I was at. I died maybe once or twice just because of unlucky RNG or whatever, but like there was no level grinding, which I absolutely loved. The story, the characters, all the different little stories, and like I only did the one ending, the long ending or whatever, but there are so many endings. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like at every step of the game, every chapter is like, oh, you could just go fight the end boss here. You could fight it at this point. And then like the different groups, and depending on who you take where will depend on what dialogue you get. Like the amount of like story progression that is in that game is just absolutely crazy. And it made me like think of kind of like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and stuff, when developers used to put time and effort into stories and games instead of just trying to like chug something out that, oh, we just need a quick buck, like let's just throw together a quick 40-hour game and be done. I missed
a quick 40-hour game.
I miss the old days like that. Chrono Trigger and 7 and 8, like they put some serious like time into those games and the story and the concepts. Like, it's crazy good.
Yeah, and I think since you liked Chrono Trigger, I'm pretty sure you're gonna really like Final Fantasy VI. They're definitely of the same type of quality as far as the story is concerned. I'm really excited because there are rumors of a Chrono Cross remake. I really hope we get that so that you can play it, because Cross is also very good.
Without having to do a emulator, I can't play Cross, so I was kind of bummed when I heard that there was a second. I was like, dang it! And then I was like, then same as you, I started hearing that there were rumors of a remake. I was like, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
I can
it
just
really
wait
would
for
be.
that.
It would be perfect, and I would absolutely 100% also play that because it's been so long. But let's jump to anime, and then I want to talk about games that we might be looking forward to, but I could talk about that for a while. But let's go ahead and jump to anime. I was awful in 2021. I'm actually awful every year. I have this horrible, ever since I let me rephrase this. Ever since I started playing streaming and then like playing more D&D, I don't watch as many anime as I used to. And what happens is if I find a series that I love and think is incredible, it's probably going to be the only thing that I watch for a few months. Like, I will watch it over and over. I'm that kind of person. So I actually didn't have very many anime that I watched last year. It was really bad. Really quick, Jackie and Azure both had series that they liked last year. So let's see. Vanitas, which I know that has a whole, it's like case study Vanitas, which is one I want to watch. Fruits Basket, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and then let's see, what was that other one called? Hold on, where'd it go? Hold on, it's here. So I'm a Spider, So What? And then Skate the Infinity, which is leading into one I wanted to talk about. Obviously, the winter anime starting in January last year gave us Skate the Infinity, which I just thought was really, really fun. And I don't really have a good reason as to why I loved it, but I loved it so much.
Skate Infinity was amazing. I like Skate way more than I thought I would. And like when I think about anime, that's like one of the top ones that comes to mind, and it's like I want to rewatch it so bad, but it's like no, I have other ones that I need to finish and I need to get to. I'm like, I can't rewatch until I finish these other ones.
I don't have that willpower.
Oh man, like I'm trying so bad, but it's like that Skate Infinity it's a different breed of anime. It's like it's not my normal anime where it's got like some type of like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z power type deal or whatever, but the story and characters just caught me so well. I was like, oh my god, I was like, the boys.
Yep, it's so good. And and it's so funny because it's listed as a quote-unquote sports anime. As someone who watches sports anime, I'm like, I mean, it's kind of sports anime. It's really just anime. Like, I don't even know what you would call it other than it's pretty wild.
I feel like it's like a friendship, like, love, like, triangle, quarrel, drama, whatever, between a bunch of guys. But I get the sports aspect because of the whole skateboarding and everything like that. That's the sports side. But like, yeah, definitely, I feel like that's not the primary focus of the anime at all. Like, that's just like a side backstory piece just to give them. It's like, hey, we're gonna say it's sport just so we have a reason to film and write this, but in reality, the main story is this other stuff.
Right? It's so true, though. Oh, Jackie says the beach episode will always be one of my absolute favorites. Yep, so good. That whole episode is just golden. It was so good.
Skate Infinity was really good. I think you introduced My Hero to me in 2020, but it carried into 2021.
Yeah, because it's still going in general, so yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of carried that into it, but My Hero is I think that's the first anime that you introduced me to.
I think so too.
I got hooked on, and I binged it for like crazy and watched it nonstop. And then the next one was the Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen, which was also really good. And that one was definitely in 2021, I believe.
Yeah.
It was either at the beginning or after, like mid-year, after I finished My Hero.
Jiu-Jitsu is really good, and that's actually one of the ones that I was also going to talk about. It did start fall 2020, but it led into spring of 2021 because they did 2 seasons of that in a row. But yeah, I really enjoyed Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen. It definitely tickled my love of, like, I don't know, it had like a classic shonen feel as far as like, gosh, I don't even really, it's like Naruto, but it's like occulty and supernatural and creepy. I always tell people that it's like Naruto and you know, like Junji Ito and like D. Gray Man had a baby. D. Gray Man's is a early 2000s one that I would also recommend, but I could talk about that later. But yeah, it was super good. It's a lesser known Shonen Jump title, just because it had to like slow down in the manga's production because the manga author is like super sickly and gets chapters out really slowly. So that's a harder one for me to get people into, but that's okay. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen was awesome. I loved the music. Both of the openings and closings for that were really good. The action sequences are phenomenal. Studio Mappa, thank you so much. But yeah, I look forward to the movie, which has an American release date in theaters. I believe it's March 18th.
And that's on which one?
I think so. For Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Is it going to be in English or is it going to be subtitle?
Usually when they put them out into theaters, they will do it both. They'll usually do state US. Let me see if I'm right for the American release date. Yep, March 18th. I'm trying to see if it says, I imagine it will be dubbed and subbed just because they will usually do a screening of both. So you can decide whether you want to go see the subtitled version or the dubbed version. So
yeah, I know I'd watch it either way. I don't care, but if I was gonna,
yeah, I'd watch it either way too, for sure. Be like, yes, please give it to me.
I don't want to go alone.
And it's actually it's a prequel film. So it's based on the 0 volume of the manga, which has to do with a second year that has been mentioned, but we haven't met him in the anime yet. So I'm really excited about that. In fact, that's the only manga series that I presently am caught up purchasing wise. I'm not caught up reading it yet, but I'm getting there. It's on my, I have goals this year, guys. Get caught up on some stuff.
We're gonna do things. Another one that started last year but kind of carried into this year. At least I think it started last year. Could be wrong, but the one I'm watching right now, Fenya.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it started that last year.
Yeah, Fenya came out last summer.
I'm just getting through it really slowly, but
that's okay.
So far I really like it. I'm getting close to the end of the season, which is kind of sad because I don't want it to end. I like the different drama between the characters.
Right, the dynamic is so good.
Right. And then Fenya always getting slapped in the beginning was hilarious. That was just, you talk too much.
I know. He like bonks her on the head all the time. He's like, shh, quiet.
And then
you're too loud.
He's like, I see why he smacks you.
Right. Yeah, no, that one was super random. I picked that one up not even as a recommendation of anything. I was just scrolling through anime on Crunchyroll and I was like, this one. It was recommended as a Crunchyroll original because it was Crunchyroll and Adult Swim from Cartoon Network did a collaboration for that one, and I was like, cool. So yeah, I watched that one. I really liked it, My only complaint is that I wanted it to be like a full season as opposed to a half season, because I do think that the last like 2 episodes do feel a little rushed. And that's why I gave it like an 8 out of 10 because of that. I was like, the only thing I want is it for it to be longer so that this last bit doesn't feel rushed. But yeah, I loved Fena. I think
I'm in like episode like 9 or 10, so I'm getting close to the end.
Oh yeah, you're getting really close.
They're rushed.
Just a little bit, like it's rushed, but it makes like it's not so rushed that I was like, what did I just watch? When I got to the end of it, it was just like, I just wanted them to develop it a little bit more. And I like all the cast, like the whole crew I like enough that I was like, no, I just want to hang out with them a little longer. So I do wish it had been a whole like 24 episode series instead of like just 12.
Yeah.
That's my
It always sucks when they're short. That's like when I try to watch TV shows and like a normal TV show and they end around like 13 episodes, 14 episodes, or 10. I'm like, that's not a season. That's like an intro, because I got so spoiled with Supernatural being like 20 to 24 episodes per season. Like when that was the first TV show that I got hooked on, aside from Dragon Ball Z, which Dragon Ball Z is like sagas or endless episodes. But going from DBZ and then going to Supernatural, and I didn't even get into Supernatural until I was like 20. So like I got into it, they were like, it was starting on like season 7 was coming out when I got into it, and I had binged the first 6 seasons, and so I got spoiled on that. So 13 episodes, 10 episodes, I'm like, this is not a season, this is just a teaser.
No. I remember the first time I call them half seasons because that's what they are. They're not full seasons, they're half seasons. I remember the first time I encountered one, I was like, why is this only 12 up? What is this? And I was like so sad. I was like, what? Why? But so one that I kind of finagled into this list, it did not come out last year, and I did not watch it for the first time last year, but they did come out with a special episode for it on New Year's Eve of last year. So I was like, ooh, I can talk about the whole series. So Lord El Malloy II's Case Files Rail Zeppelin Grace Note. It is a mouthful of a series. If you just look up Lord El Malloy, you'll usually find it. But it is a spin-off series in the Fate universe. It specifically follows Fate Zero, but it is good enough on its own, I would say, that you could technically watch it without having to watch Fate Zero. It just makes a little bit more sense if you've seen Fate Zero, which I also recommend. That's one of my favorite Fate series. The Fate universe is really hard to get into if you don't know where to start, because there's so many different ones and they're not all tied together. But I will say that the easiest ones, in my opinion, to start with are like Fate Zero, and then you have Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, and then you have the new movie versions that are Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, which is just a different path, which is confusing all on its own. Don't get me started on that. But the point is, Lord El Malloy is a side story in the world of Fate Zero. It happens, I don't remember the exact how many years, but it's like over a decade. It's like 10 or 12 years later. And it takes one of the characters from that, and he basically he's like a magical Sherlock Holmes. So it's a mystery series, but everyone in it is like a mage in modern time, and it's super cool. I love it. It's beautiful. The music is amazing. The voice acting is fantastic, and he just happens to be one of my absolute favorite characters in the Fate series. So I was so excited when I knew that he got his own spin-off series. So I'll
keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's super. I'll have to send you like a list of what to watch from that universe because I think you would really like it. But it is really confusing if you have no guidance on where to start.
Yeah, it sounds like something I'd be interested in.
It's really cool. The original, so like the story of the actual Fate universe, not including Lord El Malloy, is, I mean, they talk about it in Lord El Malloy, but very briefly. So there's this thing called the Holy Grail War. You have 7 mages who summon they summon a servant. And this servant can be like a hero, or not even necessarily a hero, but like a famous person from history. And they don't even necessarily even need to be real. They could have been a fictional character. And those 7 servants then fight. And the winner is supposed to get a wish from the Holy Grail. And so you have what's called the Holy Grail War. But anyway, so that's the very baseline of what these are. But they're super good. I'll send you the ones that I recommend. I don't recommend all of them. Not all Fate series are created equal. But most of them are really good. But, so yeah, that was my excuse to talk about Lord El Malloy because they released a special episode on New Year's Eve this past year. So I was like, haha, I can talk about it. And then, of course, obviously, one that did not come out last year, but I started last year and finished before the end of the year and is currently the #1 slot in my life is Modao Tsushi, the Chinese danhua. I could spend hours talking about that and why I love it, so I'm not going to, but I am going to highly recommend it to everyone. Period. Because it's so good.
I'll have to watch them. I didn't even really think, like, I never would have really known, like, that there's all these other animes out there. I've just, like, been pretty basic to start with. It was like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, the stuff that everybody watches. And then you told me about My Hero, and then that went to Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen, and then there was Skate, and then there's Fenya, and it's like, I never would have even imagined that I would have been into any of those, and I've loved them all.
Well, I'm so glad, because I feel so bad when I recommend something to someone and they don't like it.
You're like, I'm sorry.
I'm not offended because I understand that not everything is for everyone. Like, I have so many series that, like, I love, but some of, like, my closest friends have never even watched because I'm like, I just know it's not going to be your thing. It's fine.
Like, it's not for you. And what sucks for me is, like, even if I get into something and I don't like it, I'll have to finish it, because even if I hate it, I have to know how it ends.
Oh.
Just because I get the what if.
That's
and once
rough.
I get the what if, I'm like, damn it, like, I hate this and I gotta watch it all the way to the end. It may take me a year, but I will literally watch like 1 episode a month or something just so I can figure out, like, am I gonna like this by the end or am I gonna hate it? Like, I don't like it right now, but what if it gets good? And then as soon as I say the what if, I'm like, damn it, I'm trapped.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have to limit myself because there are so many different things that I want to watch. I cannot waste my time watching something that doesn't hook me. So, like, if it's a full series, like if it's at least 24 episodes, I'll usually give it 5 episodes, and if it doesn't really hook me after 5, then I just don't continue it. And then with short series, like 12 episode series, I only give those 3 episodes.
No, that's too deep. Once you make it 10 minutes in the first episode, you gotta finish it.
But when I have something that hooks me really quick, then I usually know that it's going to be really good all the way through. For example, Skate the Infinity had me after the first time we watched the opening. I was like, I'm sold. And that's same with
I watched that one random episode with you in Discord.
Oh yeah.
When you hosted that, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I was so lost and confused watching it. I was like, it looks kind of interesting, maybe. And I had no idea. I didn't remember the name. And it was like months and months later, you were talking about it a lot. And then I was like, okay. I was like, well, let me check it out after after I finished Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen, and then I started watching it. I was like, this is that one show we watched that one day. That I had no idea.
That I had no clue. I didn't know, but now
I could have watched this thing.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Skate. But that's the same with most recently for me, Modao Sushi. It took me. I watched the first. There's like 2 minutes of like plot lead up, and then there's the opening, and I was like, yep. And then like 2 episodes in, once you get your like claws into the meat of the story, I was like, yep, I love this. And you can tell, like, you can always tell how much I'm really into something by how fast I'll watch it, because I don't have a lot of time to just watch things anymore, like I've said recently. So the fact that it's 35 episodes between the 3 seasons, and I finished it in like a week and a half, maybe, like, the fact that I finished it that quickly, that just goes to show that I thought it was amazing. And I think I just finished my 4th watch through of it, because I watched it on my own a couple times, and I just got done watching it with Kopik, and yeah, it's 4th time through. I loved it just as much.
I used to binge stuff like crazy. I don't know what changed over like the last year, because I used to, even like shows when me and my girlfriend would watch stuff on Netflix, we could sit there for like 10 hours and watch the same thing nonstop, and we'd just get through seasons and seasons. And now it's like I watch an episode, and if I get really hooked into the show, I want to watch like 1 episode a day, because I want to drag it out as long as I can, and I just like want to cherish every episode, and I don't want it to end. So it's like, how long can I drag out this season so it doesn't go away? And it's like, I want to watch it, but at the same time, I want to watch it so bad I don't want to watch it, because I don't want to not have it there as an option. I want it as an option, and I'm like, why am I like this?
Why? Yeah, no, I get that. But like at the same time, because I have such a rewatch problem, it's like I'll eat through something really quick if I make the time to, because I'm just gonna rewatch it again. So
yeah.
But the nice thing is with this particular show, Modao Sushi, is I've been able, because there's the animated version, which is called because it's from China, it's called Dunhua instead of anime, but most people just understand anime, so I just call it that. And like, it's Chinese anime, but so there's the animated series, which is 3 seasons, 35 episodes total, and then there's the live action called The Untamed, which is on Netflix, and that's 50 episodes. So I'm going through that right now, which is great. It's fun to watch the differences. It's based on a novel series, which volume 1 was just released here in the States like a month ago. And I bought that and I read that, and now I'm waiting for volume 2 to come out in May. And then there's also a chibi series, which is like little 3-minute episodes. There's like 30 episodes of those. I watched that. And there's also a multi-season like audio drama. So there's lots of content for this same story for me to eat up, and I really have been loving that so much. I'm like, all this content of the same story, but slightly different. All variations of it are slightly different. So
it's all important.
It is.
I need to start watching. I need to, like, instead of watching TikTok, I need to watch episodes.
There you go. Because, I mean, especially like anime episodes, those are only like 20 to 23 minutes.
Yeah. The only problem that I have with the anime is when they're subtitled and I have to read. Mm-hmm. If it's past like 10 o'clock at night, the reading will instantly put me to sleep within like 2 minutes, and then I wake up and it's like the end of the episode, and I'm like, damn it, I missed the whole thing. I gotta rewatch.
No.
I'm like, oh god. So I gotta like watch it during the day. And during the day, I always get like sidetracked and I don't think about it. And then when I do think about it, I'm like, dang it, it's too late now.
I should just start sending you random texts. Be like, watch this.
Right? Like, hey,
watch an
if you're
episode.
not watching anime, do it now.
Do
Like,
it
"Oh,
now.
yes, do it right now."
I'll set like a timer. Text Dupree about watching anime.
I need to start doing it like now that I'm starting to eat breakfast every day. I should just like while I'm eating breakfast, I should just pull up anime and
100%.
just like put it on.
I actually, that's how I do. So now that I work later in the day, I get up like 2 to 3 hours before work. I like casually make myself breakfast, and I will either usually watch something, or like when I was reading the book for Modout Sushi, I was reading during my breakfast so I could get through that. So like
right, and like you said, with them being like 20-minute episodes, like I could eat and literally watch 2 episodes of something and like probably get through an entire show every week.
Yeah.
And I could watch new things.
Easy. And now my problem is making myself watch new things once I've found something that I love. Like I have a list. I have a huge watch list on Crunchyroll, and then I have an ever-growing one over on Funimation, and it's like, oh my gosh. Someday.
I would save My Hero until season 6 comes out.
I think I might, or at least wait till like...
Or at least
like,
until
I
it's like gonna be close.
Because I've been
like,
really bad and haven't even started season 5 yet. And I know I'll like it when I watch it. I don't know. It's gotta...
Yeah.
I have this weird personality where like I have a ton of favorite things, but they have to cycle through and have their turn. It's like a carousel of favorite
you gotta
things.
be in the mood. It's gotta like the moment's gotta strike for that specific.
There's a
thing.
few things in my life that I don't ever have to quote unquote be in the mood for. It's like I will drop everything and love that thing. But most things they have to take their turn.
Yeah. But yeah, if it doesn't ever like strike you to watch it, and you can hold off until like right before season 6 is gonna release, I would totally do that, because the way that season 5 is, like, if I knew that it would have been better to just have season 5 and 6 together, then it would have been so much better. It's kind of like how you say like Fenya was a little rushed and it like was a half season. I feel like five was a total half season. It was a lead up for season 6. And so it's like without season 6, you're just kind of like, really? Come on.
Oh man, that's rough. Oh no.
It was really good. I loved it. I just like, yeah.
Yep. No, I get that.
Want more? I want the rest.
Yeah, same. Where'd my list go? Oh, I accidentally tore it in half. My bad. I don't know. Cool. Yeah. That's stuff. What are some games that you're looking forward to this year?
Games that are coming out this year, I have them all pre-ordered. I got so the first one is, well, I guess not in order. I'm just gonna go in the order of my emails. But Stranger of Paradise, the Final Fantasy origin.
Yes.
I want to play that one. I played the demo. The demo was really, really good. Very difficult for sure. I don't remember if that one had a difficulty setting. If it did, I will probably lower it, because I think when I was doing the demo, I just threw it all the way up, and I think it would be way more enjoyable for me. I don't know what changed. I used to be like super into hard mode challenge, and now I'm just like, no, just give me.
I just want to enjoy it.
Decent challenge, but I don't want to be stuck on something for more than like 30 minutes. If I'm stuck on it for more than 30, I'm gonna be irritated and like, see ya. Nope, I don't want
I'm out.
Like, I'm done. But it was amazing. I loved how they blended the two. At least in the demo, it seemed like they blended the two really well.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one. I don't know if I'll be able to play it when it first comes out, but I definitely plan to play it.
Yeah, see, I'll probably play it. I don't know if I'll play it on stream or not. I probably will, because I'll probably play it right away, and if I like get hooked, I won't want to stop playing, so it's like that, or I don't stream, so I'll just end up streaming that. I want to play Elden Ring 2 really bad, which is another thing that sucks. All these games come out so close together.
Right,
Like,
I saw those two are only like
it's horrible. So you have
a few weeks apart, right? They're like
yeah,
2 or 3 weeks apart.
you have Stranger of Paradise on March 14th, and then Elden Ring comes out on February 24th.
Oh yeah,
So
3 weeks.
I have like 3 weeks. So I mean, I might be able to beat Elden Ring, but Elden Ring is a Souls game, so it's like with that one and it's open world and everything. So and me and Isaac are probably gonna co-op that. Like we'll beat it individually and then co-op it. So that might just be like one that I throw in regularly.
Sounds good.
But it's kind of like, yeah, it's super close. And then you have one that's even closer, Horizon Forbidden West, which comes out February 17th. So it's like I literally have
that's a week before the other
I'm
one.
like, what the heck? Like, I have a week, and I know that game, if it's anything like the first one, it's going to be huge, and I'm going to put like a good 60 plus hours into it easy, and it's like I'm not gonna rush that. That's gonna take me probably a good like couple weeks. So it's like I probably won't play Elden Ring on release just because of how close that game comes out, and I'm like there's just no way. And then the last one that I'm probably the most excited for, aside from Horizon, because I was absolutely like head over heels in love with the first one and the story, and just everything it just got me. But the other one comes out in May, and that's Forspoken.
Oh yeah, that one looked really cool.
Yeah, I just saw a preview for it a couple weeks ago, probably like a month ago, and like I had already known like back when they announced it at E3 or whatever, like a year ago, that I was gonna want it.
Yeah,
but
and like when they first announced it, it didn't have a name, right? It was just it
had a weird name.
project.
It was like Unnamed Project, or it was like Athena Project or something. It was some weird name, and then they renamed it and changed it to Forspoken. And then I saw the recent trailer around Christmas time, and it looks so good. I'm probably gonna be hooked on that. That's gonna be like, I feel like it'll be like another Final Fantasy game where I'm just completely hooked for the longest time.
I mean, that is a Square title, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I think that one looks really cool. I think I have all the same games I'm interested in. I don't know if I'll play any of them at release, but we'll see. I think the only other thing I was interested in is there's a kung fu game coming out here in just like a week, called Sifu, and it looks really cool. It's on PS5 and PC, I think.
How do you spell it?
Sifu. But I was watching a video. I saw the announcement trailer for it a couple years ago at E3, and I was like, that looks pretty cool. That looks like something I could enjoy. And it's like, one of the mechanics that really interests me is every time you die, you age a year. So like the game lets you die to like restart and like relearn things, and when you die, that's like when you get to do like your upgrade, like your upgrades from points and stuff that you earn throughout the game. You upgrade when you die, but you also age a year. So like however many times you die throughout the game depends on how old you are when you end the game. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
If you start getting too old, will you start getting like stats?
I don't know. I don't know how like, but that's kind of like the high risk, high reward that they're doing kind of thing for it. But I think
that sounds pretty cool. I'm watching the
really
preview for it right now. That looks pretty cool though. I bet.
I don't remember what the story basis for it is, but I remember just being like, yeah, that seems interesting. That seems like something I could play. The fighting
and the mechanics look really good. The concept seems like something that would be really awesome.
Yeah, so that's like the one like not super major title that I'm like, yeah, I might pick that up. I don't know when, but I would like to eventually.
Yeah, at some point you're gonna have time to play it too.
At some point in my life, I will pick that game up probably.
One day at Christmas on sale.
All right, cool. Well, I know that we are coming up on... It's getting pretty late on your end.
Yeah, I got like... Probably... I mean, we can end now, but I've got like 30 minutes before I gotta get off and go to bed so I can get enough sleep.
Yeah, you gotta get that sleep life.
I know, it's unfortunate. I can't do my 4-hour sleep nights anymore.
No, not with the workout life. You can't.
No, the workout has definitely doing the push-ups and then the sit-ups, the cardio workout, and then doing my second workout at night. It's just it's definitely a lot. And right now I'm doing cutting calories, so I'm not even at my maintenance calories, so I'm just hungry all day.
Ugh.
So, and then doing the sleep is definitely important for sure, because trying to do the next day's workouts on low sleep, just that's not a thing. It doesn't happen.
No, you gotta have that battery recharge.
I was telling my girlfriend earlier, like, I can eat dinner and be completely stuffed, and like my stomach like was completely empty, and about like 2 hours after I eat dinner, my stomach will start hurting again, because it's like everything I ate, my body just consumes it immediately for energy.
Right? You're like, oh no.
I'm like, well, there's the hunger. I guess I'm on the deficit. We're good to go.
Oh no. All right, cool.
It was fun. We can we'll chat through over like the next week or two and figure out what we're gonna chat about next time.
Yeah, for sure, and we'll get the camera situation figured out too, so we don't have to just have our voices on each other's streams.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll have to figure out the whole virtual camera for your stuff, so that way we can get that working and get Discord going, and we can do the screen capture stuff.
Definitely. Cool. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. I had a blast just chatting about games and anime.
I know. I'm sure we could go. It's a good thing we limited it to just last year, because otherwise we'd be here all.
That's why I was like, let's just talk about stuff we did in 2021, and let's limit it to like only a few titles.
Yeah, just a couple.
Otherwise, we'll just go, and you'll lose sleep, and it will be bad.
I'd do my first call out from work and be like, sorry, you can't come in today.
I was up all night streaming.
I was streaming talking about anime and video games. My bad.
Cool. So the next one of these that we can look forward to is going to be February 28th.
Because we're doing, you said the last Monday, right?
Last Monday of the month, correct.
Okay. Last Monday.
Which I'm going to be really tired that day, but that is okay. Because I'm coming back from a convention the night before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it on the 21st, or do you want to move it to